I probably shouldn't put this up, but feeling pretty rough now when things can be done to me and my children and just stripped naked, really, of anything and everything, and tortured that I can't put up here, and I haven't. I keep praying that the whole thing will go before some court that will tell it. And if I didn't have hope, my husband used to tell me I had to have hope. Um, I didn't know exactly what he meant then. I was in pretty bad shape then. That was after April Fool Day of '80. This is an April Fool joke to be able to do this, and you know, um, well, I better not say too much on here. I wanted to put this up because, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. A lady I know, kind of know, she's been where I've lived, and her husband is a veteran, and he's out the veteran hospital here. So she stayed where I've stayed in the past. And I was thinking about this today for a reason. So she was never very friendly to me, but she knew about me and who I am, and evidently quite a bit. I've had a couple of conversations with her. She never bothered to sit and say hi or anything. She'd stand and anyway, and she did tell me about her husband on occasion. So she'd been here well, okay. I don't want to hurt any feelings or make anybody mad at me. I don't know what I've done anyway to make people mad at me. I've just told the truth, and I haven't been able to tell all that. So I guess I better watch. Anyway, this person I saw, I won't say anything else there, not too long ago, showed up. Showed up at the checkout and where I was living, and something was said about she was paying for she was being here. I don't know if she's paying by the night, but she I'm gonna go ahead and put it up because it's true and it's just an ongoing onslaught, and it's very disappointing because I really have not been anything but friends, tried to be. Why in the do you think I did the book? Maybe I was. God has planned for us, they say, so maybe that was his plans. But then, what's the outcome? Um, but anyway, at the where you pay your rent, whether she's paying it by the week, yeah, she was. She told me that she got a weekly rate, and she was asking me what I had to pay. So she said something about somebody was standing when she checked in, standing, and she said her husband was out in the VA, and he offered to pay her rent for a night, she said. And I laughingly, jokingly said, well, how about for a week? And I was cutting up, laughed. And then she had said something some months ahead, prior. She did say this to me. She says, has anybody ever stolen anything from you while you've been here? And I said, not to my knowledge. They haven't. She said, well, have they ever messed with your medicine? I said, not to my knowledge, they haven't. Um, so anyway, saw her at the same, I think it's the same time. She was at the checkout desk, and the guy, because he heard her husband was a veteran, that he was asked her could he pay for a night for her. And one of the help here, go ahead and say it, I may die tomorrow, but so many people want me dead anyway. Um, I noticed he's always been nice, and I've liked them. um, I didn't know he was making signs to her. We were standing side by side there, and I looked out and I waved, and then I thought, well, I think he's waving at her. I'm going to leave it there at that. And really hurts, you know. I honestly have not hurt anyone, unless telling the truth hurts people. And God knows I hope it's laid out all over the whole world. It boils down to I have no power, and people can get away with it. And I keep saying this, some good people, obviously, here in this country that don't like what this country's done to me and mine. And my mom was an American, to my dad, who was an honest man taking up for our country. I mean, I was born in Great Britain. I am who I say I am. And if I try telling anything, most people here get offended. Like, why don't you, I've been told this, why don't you just vanish? And now, more than once, but specifically in Atlanta in '82, when things done to me coming out of Washington, D.C., was so horrific. And I was merely trying to get my divorce, just a little of it. And I said that to my husband. Well, I don't know if he was, we got a divorce, that's all I know. I thought we were. Anyway, I was just simply trying to get a little money to stay off the street. That's where they'd thrown me and done things to me that you wouldn't do to the worst criminal. So I'm going to leave it at that because I think you get the gist of it. And I cared about people like Scott Peterson that's on death row. I thought people wanted to know. I cared about Wayne Williams.